A few O-rings and a snap ring can hold up your whole operation. I'm the CNC repairman. Are your spindle belts? I'm going to show you how the Niagara Falls tool operates. Hello, I'm the CNC repairman. And behind me is a machine older than I am. And I love working on these machines. And I want to show you how to work on them and how to know more about them. Every time your machine does a tool change, if you have an older machine that has a shot pin, that shot pin, the air pressure pushes out and the spindle locks. Over the years, the air, the junk, the water, the O-rings wear out, and then your shot pin won't engage the same way every time. The ring might be worn out, or you might be bleeding off air because the O-rings are chipped or worn. I've seen all sorts of stuff on the machines that I work on. So, what is a shot pin? It's a little block with a little piston and some O-rings and a snap ring. It's really quite simple. Orientating the spindle to the shot pin and the gearbox, that's a little trickier. I have a video about that, but just rebuilding the shot pin, really easy. You're gonna want the inside diameter snap ring pliers, and it's kind of easier when it's out of the machine and it's clean. So I just pulled the snap ring out. Now I'm just gonna push this out, and it's a pretty tight fit with the O-rings and the bore. I might have to get a punch to push it out. I've done this a bunch of times in a machine. I'll show you how to do it in a machine. I've seen where people broke the bolts off inside and helicoiled it. And if you have to undo the threads in here, I'm sorry. The brass fittings are a pain. You might even have to take the whole cable mechanism off just to get, and then you have to swivel one around to get to it. So if you can rebuild the shot pin without taking the whole thing apart, you're gonna need to pull the snap ring out, probably pull the orientation ring to push this out, and then pull it apart. You have the brass, the piston, put a new O-ring, a new O-ring, a new O-ring. You're gonna want a clip, you want a new O-ring on it. The flat side goes on the back. And let's see if I can push this one out. There we go. So the O-rings make a tight seal. You really have to push it to get it out. There's the new one, and there's an O-ring on the inside. So you have piston or cylinder number 1 here and cylinder number 2 here, which shuttles it back and forth, and the seal between the outside and the seal between the inside. So this seal and this seal usually get a ton of wear from it going back and forth, and then the air is just peeing out all the way around it. So it's hard on the piston, but I have, working in a machine, I'll show you. You're up there, you pull the snap ring pliers out, and then I put a pair of vice grips on it to yank it out, and then I have to buff it so that this goes over it nicely. But otherwise you have to pull this whole ring out to try to punch it out, or pull the 4 bolts and pull it out. So it is up here. I'll show you a few video rolls of it. I just got the snap ring out, and I actually had the air pressure on, which I haven't ever done before, and it helped pop the piston out. So let me go plug the air pressure back in, see if it'll finish popping it out. So I gave it a little bit of air pressure, M19 wasn't hit, and it just blew it out. Cool trick. I've always tried to pull them out. So that's the side that goes toward the spindle. I'll show you closely, but man, there's a lot of gunk in there. Oh, look at little flakies are falling off. Yummy. I mean, it obviously came from the air compressor because it's a sealed unit, but wow. That O-ring looks like a quad ring with cracks in it. So that's rough. And I don't want you to think that service is easy. I mean, yeah, I just came up here and it looked like I just popped it out. No, I fought for like 2 minutes to get the snap ring out. Service is hard. I don't even think the videos make it look easy, but what's crazy is a few O-rings and a snap ring can hold up your whole operation. A bad switch on here, you can't do tool changes. So then somebody calls me on a Friday and says, well, I'm gonna manually change every tool change for my 19 tool operation all weekend long because I gotta get the parts out. Not to rag on anybody, buy a new switch, have a rebuild kit on hand, do some maintenance. I'll get off my soapbox. That's how you fix it. Put the new stuff in, pop it in, put the snap ring in, maybe put a new switch on it. Try to protect yourself from downtime. Maybe check yours before it's down or broken completely. The cool thing is this switch that will work on the shot pin will work for the clamp unclamp, will work as a home switch, will work as a tool changer switch. What else? I think that's about it. There are 2 switches here, 2 switches on the tool changer. It will actually work also as the gear shift switch, but you don't want to pull the whole gearbox. Back to shot pin. Here's a rebuild kit, here's a switch. You can get a new piston, anything you might need. be sure to give us a call. I want to help you fix your machine.